Hello there, in this video I will be installing Visual Studio Code Editor. It's a free open source text editor that will run on any platform. The link address to the Visual Studio Code download is displayed on the screen. When you navigate to this Visual Studio site, it will automatically detect what operating system you are using. If you're using a Mac, it will present you with an option for a Mac. So I'm using a Windows, so I'm just going to click on this button that says download for Windows stable bit. You can click on the drop down so that you can see what options there are. There's options for Mac if you're using a Mac. If you're using this for Windows 64 and 32-bit version, so it gives you the options there. I'm gonna just click on that one for Windows, and I just give it a few minutes to download. That's the download file. You can read through if you want the documentation. It's quite useful when you've got time. Alright, so my file is downloaded. I'm just going to double click to run the installation. I'll click on run. I'll click yes to that. And I'll just say next. I'll accept the license. Click next. I'll accept the default installation location. Click next. I'll accept, just accept all the default. Here it says add to path. You can add that to your path. Let me go back one so you can see. It says don't create a start menu folder. So if you don't want one, you can just check that. If you don't want it to create a start menu folder, I'll leave that option, doesn't really matter. Add to path available after restart. So you can leave that on if you wish to do so. You can also create a desktop icon if you want to do that. If you leave that checked, add to path, that means after you restart, it becomes available. If you want to create a desktop icon, you could click on that. I'm going to click on that. I want a desktop icon, and I'm just going to click next and click install and just wait for it to complete the installation. When the installation completes, it puts an icon on your desktop if you have ticked the box to do that, and you can click the finish button, and there is a tick here to say launch Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to leave that tick on so that I can launch it. I'll click finish and we'll wait for the Visual Studio Code to launch. So just give it a few minutes trying to launch. This is the launch screen. This is what it looks like. Give it a few minutes to complete. It also launches the getting started documentation, so feel free to read through so you know more about the Visual Studio Code. It's very good. It allows you to use a lot of top extensions, so the different extensions here, you can read through them at your own time. So I'm going to exit this documentation phase for now and just go to the actual Visual Code. So this is what the interface looks like. You get a welcome page, and you have all this. If you want to show all the commands, these are the keyboard shortcuts. Control Shift and P to open a file, you do that. Open recent file. So this can come in quite useful, so you may want to take note of these shortcuts you've got listed here. Okay, and on the left here, it's got different options. So if you want to explore, you've got the Explorer option here. If you want to search, if you want to do source control with Git, this here can link you to that. And you've got a debug. If you want to debug your code, you do Control Shift and D. And this option here allows you to look for and add extensions to extend the functionality of Visual Studio Code. So that concludes the installation of Visual Studio Code. Thank you. Bye for now.